In like a lion, out like a lamb, marching forward. Whichever phrase you'd like to use, the third month of the year is here. And that means it's Brain Injury Awareness Month. Before sustaining my injury, nearly a decade ago, I knew very little about TBI. Playing soccer my whole life, of course I knew what they were. Other than that, never really crossed my mind. Many of you know my story. Finishing up freshman year of college, injured as a cheerleader. After 1 month in the ICU with 2 brain surgeries behind me, I began the many weeks of my inpatient rehabilitation. The one shiny spot of this injury, my voice was never taken from me. As soon as I could, I began speaking for and advocating with the Brain Injury Association of Massachusetts. Speaking to school groups ranging from kindergarten to graduate students at Cambridge College, I am able to share my story with the intention of raising awareness of TBI.
Okay, we're recording.
All right.
So you can take it away as you please.
Thank you, I say inside. We're right nearly in the middle of the month of March. In like a lion, out like a lamb. Brain Injury Awareness Month. And of course, everyone who is a follower of Is It Just Me, or just has even encountered me in a grocery store, knows my story of survival from TBI. And I couldn't think of a better invite to the studio on this fine day than this fantabulous female and survivor sister sitting right next to me in studio. So take it away, Kelly. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Well, thank you for inviting me. My name is Kelly Budaleri. I live in Stowe. I work for the Brain Injury Association of Massachusetts. I've been connected with our organization for off and on the last almost 27 years now. I done a lot for them over the years, but what I'm currently doing now is a lot of our advocacy work at the State House in promoting and pushing for different pieces of legislation that we're advocating for at the state level.
And I always, again, to use another Orionism, I always like to emphasize the fact that the Brain Injury Association of Mass, tiny but mighty, and the simple fact that the BIA-MA was actually the first in the whole country. So I don't leave out any important details. Would you mind sharing the story of our heritage?
Sure.
Thank you.
So our organization was started over 35 years ago now by families here in Massachusetts, all in the Framingham area, between Framingham and Worcester area. And these families had all had children, near adult children that had all had traumatic brain injuries, and they were quite severe. These injuries led them to be treated at Spaulding Rehabilitation Hospital in Boston, and the families became connected. And then they kind of reached the end of what's next, what can the state do, where can we get more help? And at that time, there were no state programs available in Massachusetts. Nothing for people that had had a brain injury. So these people became advocates. They started it, and what started out first as the Brain Injury Association of America. It was started by Massachusetts families. The following year, approximately the following year, the Brain Injury Association of Massachusetts was blossomed, and we've taken it from there. And a lot of the advocacy work, that's when it started, and they were instrumental in starting what is now known as the statewide head injury program,
SHIP,
otherwise known as SHIP, which provides services for people here in the Commonwealth that have had a brain injury.
Well, and getting into more of the legal jargon, that's nothing new for you, Kelly. Why don't you share with everyone what your life was like, as we always say, before TBI. Well, could we hear your story? I, of course, know it, but
Yeah. So my story before my injury, I went to, I grew up in Maynard. I went to Boston College. Then I went to Suffolk Law School. After my second year of school there, I got married that summer. So I was working part-time for a firm in Winchester, and that it was a February day, and I had left the job. I was working part-time at a small place in Winchester, and drove to school for my afternoon class, and I had to drive these back roads to go to Route 93, and I don't remember that day at all, but a girl passed out at the wheel of her car and hit me head on, and I went off the side of the road, and that was it. I hit my head. I was not wearing a seatbelt. That's now very much changed. But that's in a nutshell how my accident happened. And I know that I was not driving too fast because I had the best witness in the world behind me, Ryan. I don't know if you knew this. An FBI agent was driving behind me.
I didn't know that, Kelly.
And he testified at the criminal trial for this woman who hit me that he was this close to passing me because he thought I was going too slow.
There we go. So literally, you had the, can I get a witness? You had the best one. I never knew that. All these years that we've.
I know, little tidbits come out,
I love that. And that's, speaking of tidbits, I feel like, and again, I'm preaching to the TBI choir, my lady, but do you experience yourself, even all these years after your injury, do you experience different ways of growing and being able to keep going?
Good. There are different ways to keep going. I think so. Because, you kind of reach like this plateau and then you got to find something, to whether it's just to motivate you or, that's sort of one of the things that I look at for motivation, to keep on going. And
amen, survivor, sister, friend.
A drive to look for, I think
awesome.
So.
That's so awesome, Blossom. And again, just in this little Milford TV studio, I've learned more about you now, and we've known each other for well over a decade because next month is going to be my Sweet 16 Alive Day.
Wow.
We'll have to have a proper celebration. I went there. Of course, naturally. You know me, Kelly. And I guess I just want to, the powers of post-production editing, right? I just really, would you share a little bit more about the advocacy work that has been more recent, not just in our state house,
Yep.
but down in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I got home last night at midnight from Washington,
No rest for the
DC.
weary. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you again. Thank you so much. I say and sign.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so so I spent the week down in Washington, D.C., and we were part of a coalition down there that was advocating for, at the federal level, some of the things that we need to have in place for people that have had traumatic brain injury.
Awesome.
So it was really important. We met with just about the whole Massachusetts delegation,
Wow.
their aides or what have
Yeah.
you. And it was really cool because there were a few offices that I had met with in the past, and they
Yeah.
remembered us.
Yeah.
And, so we know that we're making...
Leaving your mark.
Leaving our mark, definitely.
Yeah.
And, it's a different time down in D.C. now than it was, than it's been. So it's, they were more optimistic, I felt, this year than they were last year.
Awesome.
So that
I
part
like the
was a
sound of
little
that.
encouraging. And
I like
they
the sound of
just
that.
hoping that, with the changes and hopefully the mood votes change with the midterm elections in November and
Yeah.
the Democrats take control again. And the main thing that we were pushing for at the federal level to let you know about is there is what's called a TBI Reauthorization Act, and this is in place every 5 years. So at the federal level, it's the legislation that helps for all the federal laws that are in place. So that was supposed to have passed over 18 months ago, and it hasn't.
Okay.
And that's a real roadblock.
Yeah.
So when we were in D.C. this past week, that's what we were really pushing for with all the offices is, come on, it's been
Yeah.
on the block.
The docket, whatever.
For 18 months, we
Yeah.
need this to get signed or to pass
Yeah.
and to move forward with it. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So,
Yeah, well, that's the I think sometimes unsung or underrated value and purpose. I know, again, another thing that I say, my blessings through the bad stuff. I have, on a couple different occasions, had the great and esteemed opportunity to accompany you and Nicole Goddard, our executive director extraordinaire, and a few other employees from BIA to go into town on Beacon Hill. And
Yep.
I testified right there in front of the Joint Committee for the passage of the Cognitive Rehabilitation Bill.
that's right.
And then a different bill that had to do with sports-related concussions and head injuries. And again, we're making our messes our messages.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we're still pushing for the cognitive rehabilitation bill, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll
Slow and steady, Freddie, right?
That's right.
Amen, survivor sister friend. Thank you so much. I'm
Yeah.
trying not to get over there. But again, I say and sign, thank you,
Oh, you're welcome.
Kelly Esquire, survivor sister. And you're awesome, Blossom, and that's the truth, Ruth.
Thanks for
wink.
having me.
Thank you. And cut. Thank you.
That was it. Sure.
Can't believe I've come this far from where I was back then. Over 10 long years ago, I thought it was the end, but I said yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I gotta fight. I said yeah. traumatic brain injury, whole hell of a lot of strife. I say yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, we gotta fight. I said yeah, oh yeah, every day of our life. Marching forward, march ahead, one foot then the next. Others gotta roll along, my survivorships are the best. When we say yeah, 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 we gotta fight. I say yeah, oh yeah, every day of our life. Marching forward, march ahead, one foot then the next. Others gotta roll along, my survivorships are the best. We say yeah, 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 we gotta fight.